How much money have I made last year? Hello beautiful people, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If it is your first time here, my name is Thandi Gama. You are definitely welcome. Hit that subscribe button, stay, become part of the family. And if you are a returning subby, thank you so much for tuning in again, TG gang. Guys, we are officially here. The vision board video is here. So I know in my recent vlogs, sort of like my moving into my new apartment vlogs, a lot of you heard me mention vision board this, vision board that, and I got a lot of questions saying, oh, you made a vision board? We didn't know about your vision board. How do I make a vision board? Or a lot of you are like, what is on your vision board? How did you do it? I really want to get into creating vision boards and improving my life. And I was like, I got you. So we are here to discuss my vision board, and I'm not gonna pretend like I just did not record this whole entire thing the past hour and not realize that my mic is not connected. So we're just gonna do it again for the second round. We live and we learn. It is a new apartment and I'm testing out the sound, testing out the lighting. So I'm really excited to be filming and be here. So let's get straight into the video. So I think one of the most important things for us to understand is what is a vision board. A vision board is basically a collage of images and words that are there to inspire you and motivate you as you work through your year or work through your goals, okay? At the beginning of this year, I basically created a vision board in January. I had never done it before. It was my first time. And I actually just realized like some of the most successful people in the world have created vision boards and work off a vision board.
I don't know nobody wealthy don't have a vision board. I don't know nobody wealthy don't have their stuff written on a piece of paper. I don't know nobody.
Let us see. Where did I create my vision board? So I basically just used my laptop. I went onto Keynote, which is sort of like PowerPoint for if you have like an HP laptop. So I went onto Keynote, and after downloading some images on Pinterest, I basically just created a collage, and I have that saved as my desktop wallpaper because then it's a constant reminder, because that's where I work. I look at my laptop every single day, so it's a constant reminder, and every morning that's the first thing I look at, and I'm able to just ask myself how far I've gone or I've worked on this year in achieving that specific thing on my vision board. I also went onto Canva. I will link it down below for some of you who've never used it. I went onto Canva so I could create the version for my phone, because I also have it as screensaver on my phone, literally behind my apps. It sits there when I'm scrolling through my phone looking for an app. I'm constantly reminded of what I'm working towards this year. One tip they do say about your vision board is to create this alone. If not alone, you can create this with someone you really trust, like your partner. As a couple, I'm sure you guys might want to create a vision board together as a family, especially if your finances are combined and you're working towards your goal together. I mean, that's great. But if you're an individual, I definitely will say do this alone. The reason why I say do this alone is because you do not want to be influenced by what someone else is placing on their vision board. It is important to have a whole sit down with yourself and fully question what it is that you want for yourself as a person. So I had to have this serious talk with myself in December. If you guys remember last year in December, me and my sister decided we were gonna go to Cape Town. We spent a good 2 weeks there. And the reason why is because I needed to think. I needed some time away. Literally ask myself, what did I achieve? What did I do in 2021 that I was happy with? And what were some of the things that I wanted in 2022? When we were in Cape Town, one of the biggest reasons we're there was to discuss what we were eventually going to do with our home, because the time, like anything else, we had set a time limit for that house. And our first idea was that we were going to rent it out, and then things changed. You know, the rental market was not the same, so we were not going to be getting the same amount of money, and it just didn't make sense for both of us to keep it. So we decided we were going to sell our house. Basically, I was now questioning myself, where do I want to see myself after I've sold my house? So the type of home I wanted to move in, I had that on my vision board. You guys know I spoke about that, so that's why I'm diving into that one first, because I got a lot of questions on that video when I said I'm standing in my vision board, when I finally realized that I was standing in a replica of the kitchen that I had saved on my vision board. Okay, now if you're asking me, where do you get these images, because I know as we're going you have questions, I got all of these images on Pinterest. Before we dive into the full vision board, let's talk about, like, how do you know exactly what images you're going to put on there? And that's basically what I said. You need to have that talk with yourself. What are the things that you want to achieve? And you need to write those down. It's important to write everything down. Seeing it is different than just talking to yourself in your head and keeping it in your head. So I wrote down everything I wanted from selling the house. I need to find myself a new place. Besides find a new place, one of the things that I wasn't happy with is that, you know, I had been constantly working, you know, an individual that works, making money, but I had not been rewarding myself with some of the things that I wanted. The reason why I went into content creation is the fact that I was able to control my time. I was able to take leave when I needed to, but I didn't reward myself. I didn't go traveling. I was like, oh, I planned so many places I wanted to go travel before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then I didn't travel. And now they're like, we can travel again, and I haven't made that a priority. So it's certain things that I wrote down that needed to be a priority. I had to structure, how much money have I made last year and the year before that, and how much money did I want to make in the new year. I had to literally sit with myself, ask myself, what are the mistakes I made? And mistakes are not necessarily mistakes are lessons. And what lessons have we learned from that? And going forward, how are we going to do things differently? So after asking myself all these questions, I then decided to put it in simple words, saying food, nutrition, 30, because I was turning 30, how I wanted to feel in my 30s. I went into home, like I said, home, because home was one of the things that were going to be a big thing for me this year. Like, where do I live next? You know, what were my, and then, you know, words like achievements. Then when you have those words, you sort of then figure out the images that go with all of that. So then comes my vision board. Now, the reason why I'd actually never spoken about my vision board earlier in the year is that I do believe when you have certain goals and stuff, sometimes some of the goals should just be your own very secret till they become a success story, you know, because it's very easy for people to apply pressure on you when you've said you want to do something. People will remind you and say, what happened with this? I remember I once mentioned I wanted to have an island in the last apartment, and people would constantly ask what happened to the island, and I felt so pressured because I couldn't find someone who would put a good island and still make it look, you know, that pressure. So I decided I was going to work on these goals without having too much pressure from people questioning, oh, she said she was gonna do this. We're 7 months into the year and girl ain't got nothing to show for it. And just because I haven't spoken about it doesn't mean I ain't got nothing to show for it. And if you've actually noticed, I've noticed a lot of successful people don't really go too far in saying, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. They just work on it and then come back and say, this is the result of me wanting to do this. So my vision board, I didn't want to come on here and be like, oh, I want to. So my idea for my vision board was that I would share it in 2023 when I could look back and see what I had achieved. But a lot of you wanted to hear about it now, but I'm not fully sharing the whole vision board. I will share with you what I think matters and the stuff that I've managed to achieve. Okay, so I'm looking at my vision board right now, and one of the most important things for me was I said there, I'm 30 and thriving. So basically I wanted to feel like I was living, you know, like successful, like everything, 30, I'm thriving. And I put that image that says rich juice, you know, I put that because I wanted to live that and I wanted to believe that and I wanted to work towards that, okay? If you want something, you have to constantly remind yourself. So if you want to be successful, remind yourself and work on it, okay? Like success doesn't just come, it needs you to work on it. I put a check. This check was basically the amount that I want to make this year versus how much I had made last year and the year before. So basically that's what I'm saying. You need to question yourself and see how far have you gotten in life and where you're trying to be. I always tell people, you're not competing with anyone, you're competing against yourself. If you living your life competing against other people, then what's happening is that you are living other people's goals. You don't have a set goal, because if you do have a set goal, then there is no reason to be competing with anyone else. It's just you against you. You need to look at like last year and say, what did I achieve last year? How can I improve that? Okay? I put there, my income is constantly increasing and I am wealthy beyond my wildest dreams. Now that goes back to my check that I put there for myself. It's because I need to believe that. And also, if I am saying I'm going to be wealthy, what am I doing every single day to check up on myself? Are you anywhere close to being the version of yourself you said you would in January? I put this image of this girl because one thing I wanted to work on as a person was work on my content and how my content is consumed and perceived. So basically, when I studied, I was a strategist before I did this full time. And I know how creative I can be besides my strategy background. And the reason why I stepped into being an influencer is because besides my strategy background, there was all this creativity I had locked up in my head that I felt like the world needed to see. I was like, I'm tired of just like creating mediocre content, man. I know it's supposed, even if it is authentic, it still can be authentic in my creative way of showcasing content. So basically that's one like area I wanted to invest in. I was like, I want my content to be something that I'm proud of and to be a reflection of who I am as a creator. I put there images of me traveling. So it was the window seat because I wanted to literally give myself the opportunity to travel and experience the world. I had been working and I had not been enjoying the fruits of my labor. That was a gift to myself. You know, I told you, I was like, oh, that was my gift for my 30th. I had planned it for a while and I said, oh, you know, I was meant to travel before COVID. Now that COVID is here, it's just going to be my 30th gift to myself. Travel, you know, experience some things, just enjoy. The reason why I work, I work for enjoyment. Now, you know, we work to enjoy certain things. So yeah, that was super important to me this year. And I had put an image of Greece, so I was so happy I got to experience Greece. And also there was an island that is off the coast of Italy. I didn't get to go, but at the same time, I got to go to Italy. Then I put an image of friends, okay, this girl group, because I wanted to be a person that is open to voicing myself out. I wanted to receive from friendships as much as I give, and I wanted to give as much as I was receiving. It's important to evaluate our relationship as much as a marriage. I mean, after years in a marriage, you know, we tend to realize that you are growing. I'm not speaking from experience, I'm just speaking from things that I heard. I know you guys are in marriage, you say, oh, we get to a certain time where we reevaluate and realize we've changed and our love languages have changed. Like there's certain things that are different about us. And I think it's the same thing in friendship. Actually, it's the same thing in all relationships, in family. You get to a point where you expect certain people to treat you a different way. Your parents can't expect to treat you the same way they did when you were 5. You're not 5. You're an adult now, and there's certain things that are like different. And it's the same thing in friendship. So I wanted to work on my friendships. I also wanted to work on just the people that I know. Am I checking up on people that I know? Am I giving them me as much as they give me? If people are constantly checking up on you, you're a bad person to not take a day out of your life to just say, hey, you know, you always check up on me. I just wanted to know if you're okay and if you're doing good. So that was really important to me. And also, when I put that girl group there, it was super, super important for me to actually support the women around me, support the women I know. Wake up every morning and make sure I check up on my fellow influencers. I like their content, comment, share it, because they're also working towards something. Me supporting them takes nothing away from me. Their blessings are not my blessings. So I never ever look at people with the eye of, oh, I'm not gonna support her because that should have been me. Because no, girl, that would never be me, because it's not my blessing. And someone's blessing it was never meant for me. I have different blessings that are headed my way, and that same very person is going to be there to support me when it's my turn. And then some of the things that are on my vision board that I haven't shared are stuff that I'm really working on, and you guys will get to see when I fully come back in like 2023 and I say, looking back at my 2022 vision board and the things that I've achieved. Obviously, we'll go through the whole list again and I'll show you the vision board completely. But yeah, guys, so since you asked about my vision board and you wanted to know, I thought I would share this with you. The reason it's so important for you guys to actually consider having a sit down and doing a vision board is because it will honestly change your life. I don't want to lie to you. Just seeing what I've been able to achieve has changed my life. I'm just like, I'm excited for next year, because obviously there might still be some stuff from this year that will still remain on my vision board, but I'll be happy to remove certain images and replace them with bigger goals. Next year I might have a little vision board party. You never know. I'm just hinting. You never know. And I'm putting it out into the universe. So another important thing is that vision board is linked to your thoughts, okay? It's linked to your thoughts because you are where you are because you've thought of this moment. I've thought of me being in my own space, and I find myself in my own space this year. It's you trying to get yourself in a mindset where you're constantly thinking positive thoughts so that you then surround yourself with a positive environment, okay? I hope this video was somehow insightful and gave you a little bit of an idea into how to create a vision board. I will link down some videos that you can watch, but yeah, I will get into a full-on breakdown of my visions and goals and my vision board next year when I finally completed the year and I've worked on some of the last few images that I didn't get to share with you guys. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for pushing me to actually film this video. So till my next video, loves, much love.